Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Landing America. First of all, I would like to thank everybody who has shown their support to this podcast. I received a lot of positive feedback in my DMs and in a form of 5-star reviews. I'm totally floored and humbled by your genuine interest and love. I appreciate it so much. It really does make me want to do more and work more. I already have big plans with this podcast. I want to bring more and more valuable information as well as many interesting guests on the show. So once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And let's get into today's topic now. So, today I would like to talk about and explain to you something that at first might not seem as too important, even might appear as boring, but it is very important to be aware of once you decide to live in America. And that is number 1, social security number, number 2, credit score, and number 3, work permit. Since all of these are in some way connected, I decided to discuss them all together on one episode and explain their meaning while sharing my experience with you. So, the social security number, it is like a special ID number for people in the United States. It is not common in Slovakia, although I know many other countries do have that. It is unique for each person, kind of like a name tag that only you have. And when you are born or when you move to the US, the government gives you a 9-digit social security number. So this number is important because it helps keep track of things like how much money you make. If you pay taxes, you will also need it for things like getting a job, opening a bank account, or even applying for any government help. It's also something you need to keep super safe because it's like a key to all your personal information. You shouldn't share it with just anyone unless it is a trusted person or organization that really needs it. Your social will stay with you for your whole life. And it's also connected to your retirement benefits. It's something you should take care of and keep safe at home, locked in a drawer. Do not even keep it on your phone. There are cases of identity theft, and it happens when someone starts using your social. So if you ever think someone might be using your SSN without your permission, you should report it to the government right away. If someone takes your social, it's like they are using your information to do things you didn't say they could, right? They might act like they are you, and they can get credit cards or open bank accounts. This means that they would be spending money, and at the end of the day, you would be the one left with paying all those bills. Plus, it will mess up your credit score as well, which I'm going to explain further in a bit. It might also be hard to prove that you are really you if someone else is using your social security number. So it's really, really important to keep it safe. Now, let's talk about the credit score. Your credit score, on the other hand, is like a report about how you handle your money, basically. It's a number that shows how good you are at paying your bills, using credit cards, managing loans, and so on. So the higher the credit score number, the better. It's kind of like a trust level. So if you have a good credit score, let's say 700, 750, 800, those are excellent numbers. That means you are pretty reliable when it comes to money. You might be asking, why does that matter? Well, here in America, it matters when you, for example, want to buy a car, get a credit card, rent an apartment. People in America check your credit score. So if it's high, they're more likely to be like, sure, no problem. And then on the other hand, when it's low, they might be hesitant and reject you. So you might not get that apartment, you might not get that car, you might not get the loan, because they will be like, okay, this person is spending money, they're overspending, they're getting in debt, they're not paying their bills reliably. So no, we're not gonna give it to you. So yeah, having a good credit score basically opens more opportunities for you to do things that you want in life, like, for example, buying a house. So think of it as your reputation. You want it to be good so that banks and organizations can trust you with important money things, right? Because, for example, when you have a bad credit score, it can affect a lot of parts of your life, right? You will not get a loan for a car. The banks will not trust you. They will worry you will not pay them back. And even if you need a credit card, you will not get approved. So, or maybe you will be approved, but you will get like a really high fees and low limits, and you even maybe will have to pay more for like insurance or utilities, because you will be considered a high risk, basically. They will think, okay, this person is spending a lot, is having debts, is not paying bills on time. We don't trust this person. So, and even when you're looking for a place to rent, for example, landlords, they usually want to rent to people with a good credit score. If you have a bad credit score, they will not want to do it because they will be worried you will not pay your rent on time. Even some jobs will not want to hire you if they see you have bad credit, because they will think, okay, this person is not responsible with money. So in general, having bad credit score is not good for you, and it can make your life very difficult in America and also expensive. So basically, imagine eviction, okay? Like you are getting kicked out of your house or apartment because you couldn't pay your rent. So this situation will have a big effect on your life in America because of your credit. So here's how it works. When you get evicted, it's often because you don't pay rent on time, right? So your landlord will take legal action to remove you from his property. And then this goes on your rental record, which it can make it tough to find a new place to live in the future. The landlords, as soon as they will see this record on your credit, they will not rent to you. So while eviction itself doesn't directly show up on your credit report, it will show if your landlord will take a legal action against you. So if he will take you to court for like unpaid rent, and if he wins, he will get a judgment against you, right? So this judgment will show up on your credit report, and this is like a huge red flag to landlords. It will tell them you had a legal problem related to money in the past, and for many years to come, it will drag down your credit score, and it will make it really tough for you to get back on your feet. Now, let's talk a little bit about a work permit. A work permit is basically your official permission to work in a country where you're not a citizen. It is a crucial step if you want to work in America to have a work permit. This is something that I didn't know about, because in Europe, if you move to another country within, let's say, European Union, you don't really need some work permit. You just find a job wherever you move. So for many of you, this might be a new term. That's why I wanted to bring it up. When you want to work in a country where you're not a citizen, in this case, the United States, you need a work permit from the government. And this permit will show that you are allowed to work in the US for a specific period of time. It is usually tied to a job or to your employer. It is hard to have a job here without it. And so in order to get a work permit, you might need to apply through a government office or online, and you will likely need to provide documents like your passport, your job offer letter, maybe proof of your qualifications or skills. It will be tied to your visa, basically. Once you have a work permit, you will basically have a ticket to legally work in the United States. It is very important to have it because working without one, it won't be ideal. It could get you in trouble. You will be fined or maybe deported from the country. So the visas that may lead you to get a work permit are, for example, the H-1B visa. Those are for skilled workers, if you have any special skill that is really needed in America and there is a lack of people who can do that. Then, for example, L1 visa, which is intra-company transfers. O1 visa for individuals with extraordinary abilities, like, for example, some artists. And also J1 visa, which is exchange visitors. The eligibility for these visas often depends on factors like your skills, qualifications, the type of job you will be doing, and so on. Your work permit allows you to legally work in the US for a specific period, and it will be tied to the validity of your visa. So keep that in mind when you're applying for your visa and when you will receive your work permit. So guys, this is all from me for today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you're going to have a wonderful week. Don't forget to subscribe or give me a thumbs up or maybe a nice review. I will be very happy because it's going to help my podcast grow. And I'm going to talk to you on the next one. Bye.